Welcome to the IVM Podcast Network.
Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in yet again for the Stylogram podcast with your host Malika Singhania. It's the one place where you will hear all about the latest trends, fashion faux pas and tips and tricks to always look and feel stylish. Today we have with us Ashim Gulati, the lead hero from the recently released movie Tumbin 2. Let's talk to him about Bollywood, glamour and all things stylish. Hi Ashim.
Hi, how's it going?
Thank you so much for coming in. It's such a pleasure.
Pleasure all mine.
Are you all set to answer our questions?
Absolutely.
So Ashim, tell our listeners, how did this whole thing begin? I know you're a Delhi boy. You were born and brought up there. Mm-hmm. How did you come to Bombay and what made you get into this field of acting?
It started off as a passion when I was in boarding actually.
Okay.
So I started doing theatre then, and I loved being on stage. So and actually people usually used to ask me that are your parents all right with you getting into films or you wanting to become an actor, because it's not a very common profession that people used to go for. So, and I used to be like, okay, I don't know, how is it a problem? Because it came kind of naturally to me because I was always doing theatre, and secondly, my parents always saw me doing theatre, and they
always as in what age?
As in like when I was in class 6th.
Really?
Yeah. So they used to come for our prize-giving plays, and that used to be one of the biggest plays in the school. That used to happen once a year. And so till the time I was at Mayo, they used to be there every year, and they used to watch me perform. And they, I think, were pretty convinced that I should be probably getting into it eventually.
From the 6th standard, so you must have been like 12 or something, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
And did you know at that time that this is what you were good at, or did you just get thrown into a play by a teacher and then you became good at it?
I honestly, I always I loved the stage. I loved performing. So I started performing then, and then eventually what happened was I came across this theatre director called, I won't take names.
Okay.
But this lady, and she told me that once you're done with school and your studies, you should come and work with me in Mumbai. And I think that kind of got stuck in my head, and I thought, if she can say that to me and she can have that kind of confidence in me, then why can't I have that in myself?
Right.
And it was definitely something that interested me, and I wanted to take it forward. And I think I went against all odds, even though I got bullied in school as well, because I remember I used to play the female characters.
Oh really?
And,
that's hilarious.
I used to win.
How come?
Because I was very petite. I was like
You were petite.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Everyone has to look at you now.
I used to have facial beard and whatever. So
you were like a chikna boy.
Yeah, and I was really I wasn't even tall. I was very short. So I used to get those roles, and I used to really enjoy doing it. And but by the way, doing that in a boarding school full of boys, it's suicide.
Social suicide.
Yeah. But that kind of never stopped me from doing anything. I used to, in fact, win the best actor in female roles.
Really?
Yeah.
That's something. Oh my god.
Yeah, and I remember right across our school was the Mayo Girls. So we performed there also, and there they used to come down and see us. It was fun.
Were you very popular with the girls then? I would assume not.
Not that I'd known, because I used to stay away from them. I don't know. I just at that age, I think it was all boys, girls, and 12.
Yeah. So then you left Mayo, and
then
then you went back to Delhi.
Yeah, then I came back to Delhi.
And then when did you decide to cut the umbilical cord and come to Bombay?
I think in Delhi, I went to this college where I wasn't enjoying myself. I wasn't doing what I really wanted to do, and it was kind of living this fake life where nothing was interesting me. And I was actually supposed to go to the States to study.
Okay.
And I think right halfway through it, I realized that I don't want to spend the kind of money that I would have been spending on if I had went abroad and studied, and doing something that I'm not interested in. So much rather do something which you like and spend your parents' money in something which they actually also believe in.
So did you ever go to acting school?
I did not go to an acting school per se, but and I want to. Sooner or later, I think I'm going to. But
you might still do it, huh?
Yeah, 100%. Okay. I want to study more, and if not just acting, then anything else. But I really want to.
Yeah.
Any form of studying. So, yes, I did not go to an acting school, but I did a lot of workshops here and there.
With the theatre lady and stuff?
No, actually, that's a different story altogether.
Okay.
But I came to Bombay at that point when she called me for a brief period, but it was only for a brief
I love
period.
who this, like, quote-unquote she is. Like, I want to know this person.
Yeah, no,
when we go and break, then you have to tell me.
So, anyway... what was your last question?
So I was saying that, so then you came to Bombay because she called you, obviously.
Yeah.
But you never really, like, worked with her or, like, did anything.
I did. I mean, I did for like 5 days. And then something happened. And I realized that, okay, people in Bombay are way too professional. I wasn't ready for it.
This naughty grin is like...
I wasn't ready for it. And then just one day she was like, okay, you gotta go back to Delhi.
You were
man.
like 21 also.
No, this was like 19.
Oh,
This
you were
was
like a baby as well.
Yeah, and I didn't know like how people work here and like what's the culture and stuff. And she just like asked me to leave.
Oh, okay. We'll cut it at that. But okay, so then that happened.
Yeah.
And then, so when did you get into like ads and stuff?
Right when I came here. So I didn't know. So there's no linear way of getting into acting as far as I'm concerned. I don't think there is. So I didn't know that what route to take. I didn't know anybody here.
Yeah.
I came here absolutely alone, untouched. Nobody, like, no background.
No godfather.
No godfather. So I got here and I just realized that I need to work. Now, whatever kind of work that comes my way, it came. And it just fortunately for me, it started off with TV commercials. So one led to the other, and it always was a step up. I was fortunate enough to work with good people, with good brands, and did good work. So it only like led me to another bigger step, and it was only escalating, and it was good. It was like everything was just working out well, and one thing to the other, and it was great. It's been
no,
really
but
good.
tell me a little bit about those struggles, because you hear about this debate between children who are born into film families and then people from outside, and I think eventually it really depends on your acting skills and your destiny, and it doesn't really matter where you've come from, because we've seen enough cases of outsiders making it so big. But what's it like being an outsider? Is it easier having a godfather, you think, or is there a lot of pressure?
See, when people say that, you have a godfather, it'll be much easier. I think, yes, you do have a bit of an upper hand. You probably get more chances to prove yourself. When it comes to people from outside the industry, yes, we do not have that opportunity again and again. It doesn't knock on your door, and it doesn't come that easy. But having said that, I still feel that people who come from those kind of backgrounds, who have their fathers in the industry or whoever, I think it's more difficult for them, because they kind of need to uphold the legacy and take that forward, and people have way too many expectations from them.
Yeah.
So with us, we still have, if you compare, people don't have those kind of expectations. But at the same time, yes, there is no... It's like doing a play, so you just go and perform. There are no retakes for us.
Yeah, and you can kind of carve your own niche. You don't need to fall into certain, footsteps, or like, be a blockbuster star in like the first 2 films or something.
Absolutely.
Which is, I think, a big advantage.
Yes. And even for us, I think now, because there's so much competition, and there's so many people who've come on a monthly census come to Mumbai just to become actors.
Yeah.
And everybody's willing to put in that kind of hard work, and I have great respect for everyone who's doing it, because it's over the period of these 4-5 years that I've been here, I've just come across so many people who've been
I think the
working that
level
hard.
of competition now is just taken, to a next level, because it's not just your acting. There's so much more. There's the X Factor. There's the whole physical aspect of it, which can be extremely draining. So tell me a little bit about that. I mean, it's very, very important in this day and age, especially for the male actor, to be extremely fit, right? And does that kind of take a toll on you and take away from your acting?
I feel it's about how you balance it out. Yes, people are looking for people who are, who look a certain way, but then that can only land you certain kind of roles. And I honestly feel that, yes, it's an overall, amalgamation of what your looks and your acting and the way you are, as in like your physical, although aesthetically how you are. But I think it's if you're an actor, and if you really want to act, and there's a difference between an actor and a star, I feel.
Right.
Then you should be like water, man. Like you should be able to flow in whatever any kind of character that comes through, comes across. You need to be able to play it. And so tomorrow I was reading the script, and somebody told me that you have to be really fat for this. You have to be really overweight and stuff like that. And I said, why not? Like, so that's the thing. You don't have to have those.
I mean,
six
Amir
packs.
Khan just had a transformation
Exactly,
for Dangal.
that what bigger example could we have?
Yeah.
So you don't have to have that six-pack body, or you don't have to have that aesthetics. You can just be normal and be completely neutral, and then can carve yourself into anything you want, because that's what actors do.
Right. So what would you say are the three qualities that, like I would say the commoner who needs to become an actor, like we were talking about earlier?
I think you should be so rich, and rich not in the literal sense. I mean, rich in terms of experiences. Because by the end of the day, actors are portraying normal commoners, as you say.
Right.
They are portraying the people that we see in our everyday lives. That he could be a dyslexic, he could be handicapped, he could be anybody.
Yeah.
So it's more people you meet, more conversations you have.
Yeah.
I think the richer that you get as a human being and as an actor. So I think that's what I really like about acting, is that you get to portray these people, and then you get so closely in conversation with them, and then you start to study them and read them, and I think that is the most interesting part about this. So that's one. Second would be you just got to be yourself. I think be honest to to who you are, and I think because that will kind of reflect in your characters. You'll be able to play those characters that honesty. I mean, I'm not an acting guru. I'm still learning.
No,
so
but I think it's not just your on-screen personality. It's also that's what will reflect
transcends
off-screen,
into your off,
which is a big part of being a celebrity as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Second's that, and third, I feel. Hard work. I think you cannot shy away from
Perseverance
that.
as well.
Perseverance, patience. But hard work, I feel, destiny, yes, it comes into... Of course, you have to be lucky. All these things are there. But I honestly feel if you're good, and if you work that much harder, I don't think you will not get picked up. There is so much work. There is no shortcut. You have to work hard, and you have to get your way through by working that much harder. And if you can work, and if you know that you're giving your 200% to something, sooner or later it will come back to you. Like
something's got to give.
Yeah, of course. There's no way it's gonna go waste.
Talking about hard work, you did a TV serial as well, right?
Yes,
and that I believe is extremely hard, right? Like doing TV.
So I did not go for it wasn't a daily soap.
Okay.
It was an episodic.
Okay.
And it was supposed to be about 25 episodes, and it ended up in 19. So it wasn't really, really taxing as how other TV soaps and the regular ones are. But yeah, when we used to shoot, then it used to be about 12 to 14 hours a day, which was fine.
And it made you rich in experience.
Yeah, I think that was, for me, I was treading waters. I was trying to see how I fare in front of the camera. Because I hadn't really seen how I move in front of the camera, because ads are different. And
right.
So television was something for me to just see how I look, how I perform.
I think your learning curve is huge in television, right?
Yeah, I think that you can make more mistakes there.
Yeah,
I feel, but it's not that. And I would actually really like to do television, maybe later. But it was fun. I had a great time.
You had a great experience.
Yeah.
And let's get to the main thing that you just recently were in, which is Tumbin 2. How was that?
It was a dream.
Yeah,
it was surreal.
It was like your big break.
Yeah, it was.
And the music was fantastic. I loved the music of the film.
I mean, DC.
All three of you looked great as well.
Yeah,
what was it like working with Aditya and with Neha Sharma?
It was really refreshing. They've obviously Neha's been in the industry for a while. Aditya has also done a couple of films. So it was just like I was kind of taking in from their experiences. They were really good to work with, both brilliant actors. and it was only so much to learn, so I was, and the best part was that Aditya and I got along really well, and Neha kind of joined the team later, and like we all bonded really well. So there were no insecurities, there were no there were no hassles between us during shooting, off screen, on screen. It was all very beautiful. It was
and talking about beautiful, you guys look really stylish, and that's something I wanted to get at as well. Like, how much does fashion and style play in, like, while you're shooting a film, or even when you're not on set and like just in your everyday life?
See, on a film set, yes, it is important, but you should only give that much importance to your clothes and your styling. Yes, you need to look good, but not at the cost of you just thinking about what you're wearing and like how you're looking, and taking that away from.
But is that something
your
that
character.
You think about, or do you have a professional who's taking care of that?
Of course, they're professional. Like we had a stylist who made us look that good.
Right.
So there are a team of people who are working for you.
Right.
But I think that should be their job, and then that is their job, and then that's exactly what they need to do, and they're doing their job pretty well. And our job is to focus on our characters and what we're portraying. So there has to be a distinction, and we need to be very clear with what they want and what we want from our characters.
Okay, so it's kind of like you guys do it in tango. You tell them what you feel comfortable wearing, and then they find stuff for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and off the set as well, is it similar, or do you have a stylist?
Not really, but yeah, if there's an event coming up, if there's something big that we need to go for, and especially now after we've done Tumbin, I think we require somebody who can just
now that you're a
make us look that good. Because otherwise, I'm always trying to look in my closet and see what I have, but then I just sit down and like, dude, I need somebody to like give me some clothes.
Yeah, for sure, and it'll be more fun that way as well.
Yeah.
But on that note, let's take our first break, and we'll talk more about style and fashion when we come back.
It was rated Goregaon's most intelligent podcast. It was the best new podcast of the day when it was launched. And now, the irreverent brand of attempted humor and botched education is coming your way. You have many burning questions.
So what is the Brexit? What do mathematicians do, man? I mean...
Introducing Simplified, a weekly podcast that deconstructs issues around you, such as, what on earth is Bitcoin?
So Bitcoin is just another currency like the rupee or dollar. The difference here is it's a virtual currency.
Do resolutions in cameras really matter?
They think that just because a number is higher, what they're getting is actually more.
And encryption.
So encryption, okay, is a process of encoding messages in such a fashion that only the intended recipient sees it in its intended format.
Hosted by Narendra Shanoy, a very wise man who can't stop making B.G. Woodhouse references. And Deepak Gopalakrishnan, who calls himself Chuck, a madman who can't stop making poor jokes.
Naren, what do you call a forest where you find all the latest news?
I don't have a good feeling about
that. A topical rainforest.
Follow Chuck and Naren as they scour Google and read Wikipedia for you and condense it into language you can understand. Simplified, helping you appear smarter to an audience that knows no different.
And we're back. We're here with Ashim Gulati, who's going to tell us some really fun stuff. So Ashim, tell us, have you made or seen any fashion faux pas? I'm sure you have, so be truthful.
So once what happened was we were supposed to go for a Halloween party.
Okay.
And we were still back in school, I think. Or maybe college. And it was so much, I think it was getting cold. We were in Delhi.
Okay.
And so everybody was like, whatever, this is huge Halloween party we're going to, and we're all like kind of dressing up and this, that. So I said, theek hai. So at that point, I think it was my brother's or mine, I don't remember. But we had made a Flintstones outfit. Okay?
Both of you?
No, just me.
Okay.
And it was like a proper Flintstone outfit, because it was like, one off shoulder or something like that, whatever you
like
call
a toga.
it. Yeah, and I wasn't wearing anything. I was totally commando, and it was like knee length, just probably below the knee, and that much. That was the length of the whole outfit, and that was it. Okay, and it was cold, and I thought everybody's going to turn out. Everybody will be actually taking this very seriously, and I always take it very,
Halloween very seriously.
So my friends picked me up from my house, and I looked at them. I was like, dude, why aren't you guys dressed? So they're like, we just thought that it'll be, it won't be that big a deal.
Yeah.
So I said, "Acha, theek hai, chalo." So then we ended up entering the party. And turns out that nobody has worn any of these like Halloween
it's a
outfits.
Halloween party.
Exactly, and like, because I don't
Did
know,
they not get the brief?
They didn't really took it seriously. But and when I entered, and I was the only one in that wearing the Flintstone outfit, and I'm looking at everybody like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
Like, and I got like quite embarrassed, to be very honest, because everybody is just like, dude, they started laughing because my dress was so short and I wasn't wearing anything, and it was so cold. So, and everything was kind of like I was getting whatever. It was so funny.
Oh my God, what I would have done to be a part of that party.
Oh man, you should have seen my face. And then eventually I had to go to the hostel and dude, give me clothes, man. Like, I need
So you changed out of it.
I changed out of it eventually because everybody was like, and it was cold more than anything.
Okay.
So I was just like, okay,
But
what?
you didn't carry one of those big furs that Flintstone also
No,
wears.
no,
Clearly you
no.
didn't
It was just,
dress
I was,
the part
yeah,
perfectly.
Yeah. So it was quite a disaster.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay, any trends that you are particularly loving right now?
See, I'm always for the retro
Okay.
look. So I personally really like it. I think recently I'd worn a complete white suit, which I'd never worn.
Oh,
So I'm always for retro.
that's
but
very like Jitendra.
Yeah, completely.
With like white shoes and all?
Not white shoes, but I wore the entire suit was completely white. We went for the Star Screen Awards.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, and I'd never worn one, so I was really happy, and it came out really well. So, but nothing in particular. I'm not very.
You're fuss free.
Yeah,
when
I
it
can
comes
wear
to-
anything. It just I think you just need to carry it well, and I believe I do a good job.
Yeah, I mean, and contrary to what you said, you have the height and the body. So tell our listeners how you got here, because clearly you didn't have it when you were back in school.
So
a lot of hard
height
work.
का तो मैं कुछ कर नहीं सकता, वो तो आपके पेरेंट्स की वो ही है.
So height we'll leave, but
Height
body
we'll
you can give us tons of tips.
Body, yes, I've been actually working out for a long time, but initially क्या होता था कि we used to work out just to pump up yourself and like get that right kind of a body, which वो सलमान खान को देख के पहले कितना होता था. But over the period of years, I realized that कितने time तक you've been going to the gym but doing certain things completely wrong.
Right.
So you only learn as you grow. So just, I would like to say just eat healthy. For me, I think eating healthy is so important, and you need to set goals for yourself.
But what is healthy?
Eating a balanced diet, eating at the right time, sleeping right, and just setting goals for yourself.
Do you think no carbs is healthy?
No, I don't
It's
think
not,
so.
right?
No. I
need
don't
to have a
personally.
little bit of
and you
everything.
need to listen to your body. I think whatever works for you, because certain people it might work, but then you need to have those, because you get energy from carbs. So you need to keep that energy going. Otherwise, you'll
Otherwise you
feel,
can't work out as well.
Yeah, there'll be loss of energy. So you need to have that's exactly what balanced diet, and at the right time. If you have your dinner at 9:00. And sleep by 11:30, then I think it's...
Which is totally what you do, right, Ashil?
No, I haven't been doing that.
I'm
at all.
Look at the industry
But
you're in. How do you do that?
No. But look at Akshay Kumar, man. Like, he's my inspiration.
Does he go to bed at 11?
Yeah, he goes to bed at 9:30, 10.
Really?
He wakes up at 4:00 in the morning.
That's crazy. I didn't know
he's
that.
He's my inspiration. I will, and I've been trying actually to do that. I've been failing miserably, but I will keep trying, because that's what humans do.
Yeah, and he's got a great body. He's
He
very fit
is,
for his
I
age.
look at him, man. He's just
getting better and
amazing.
better,
Yeah,
right?
every day he's growing he's growing amazing with grade.
Yeah.
So it's great.
He's aging very gracefully.
Very gracefully.
And, I think just for like regular not kids, but like teenagers who are looking to just look stylish, what would you recommend?
Just in terms of physicality?
Yeah,
or
in
just,
terms of what you should wear, like how
just-
you should, groom yourself.
I feel just wear something that you're comfortable in. If you're not comfortable in what you're wearing and how you are, then I think wherever you go, you'll kind of feel out of place, out of
Yeah.
space. So just be comfortable in what you wear. Carry yourself like a boss, and do not let yourself bogged down by what other people think of you.
Right.
I think that's the most important, and that's log kya kehte hain has ruined more dreams than ever.
It's true.
So I think that's the most important thing, that we in today's day and age, we think so much about what people people say and what they think. By the end of the day, it's your decisions and your choices who make you who you are. So
yeah, and I think, is it particularly hard as a celebrity? Because I feel like, at least for, in everyday life, we don't get written about and rewritten about, and there are photographs everywhere, and it goes down in history. But for a celebrity, it's like you make one mistake, whether it's a behavioral mistake or fashion mistake, a film mistake. It's like something that just goes down and it's going to be there forever. Is that hard to deal with?
See, nothing goes on forever, because people forget. We've got our memories are not that great.
Short-term memory. Until the next
blunder that happens. So it's only until the next thing that happens. But having said that, I think yes, we got to be a little careful, because we are always on the radar, and always kind of people are looking to see what
put that red circle around what you're wearing.
Exactly, because people really need gossip to keep themselves entertained, and rightly so. I think maybe a lot of people are bored. Maybe a lot of people don't have much to do. But I still feel that you need to, whatever people think. This goes for everybody, not just for celebrities, I feel. And I'm so new at this, so I shouldn't be,
No, and I feel like Ranveer Singh has kind of proven that, right? Like, look at his bizarre dressing sense, but he just believes in it. So now everyone believes in it.
I love him, yeah, because it's just. See, that's the thing. He epitomizes what it takes to be so confident in your own skin.
Yeah.
Because once you're that, then who can say anything about you, right?
Yeah.
If you can't say if you can say anything about yourself, then people will
There's not an ounce of self-doubt in him.
Exactly. And I think that is something. I think he's the epitome of it all.
Yeah,
I think,
and he's been this personality even when he wasn't a big star.
Exactly. You don't have to turn into somebody, and you don't need to change according to people.
Right.
Just be who you are and find that spark in yourself.
And people will accept you no matter what.
Absolutely.
Okay,
and be honest. That's all.
Yeah. So on that positive note, let's jump into some scandalous answers in our rapid fire round.
Damn.
Okay. Most precious item in your closet?
My hat.
Your hat?
Yeah.
What kind of hat?
I've got a fedora and another.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah, another one.
Most stylish actress?
Stylish. Sonam Kapoor.
Most stylish actor?
Ranveer Singh.
Who would you take on a date from Bollywood?
Alia Bhatt.
Really?
I really like her.
Okay. Who's the most influential celebrity according to you?
Influential celebrity? Amitabh Bachchan.
Yeah, you think? Still?
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah.
He's...
Do you believe in love at first sight?
Yes.
What do you do when you're not working?
Playing some sort of a sport. But so many things, man. I'm just like lazing around mostly.
Bumming.
Yeah.
What would we find you at home wearing?
Nothing.
Nothing at
Probably
all?
Just boxers.
What do you spend the most on?
Food.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm a big foodie. After food, I love to eat, and I'm always out eating. That's one of the major reasons why I don't get those six packs, because I've got the biggest sweet
You do
tooth.
have a six pack. What are you talking about?
I do not.
What would you like to wear on the red carpet the next time?
Probably just boxers and suspenders, probably.
Really?
I'd do that.
Okay. Fame or money?
Money. Fame
Money.
will follow.
Something no one knows about you?
That I'm really shy.
No, that's not possible.
I am. You put me in a group of people who I don't know. It'll take time for me to open up.
Really?
Yeah, but when I do,
I would
I'm
never
explosive.
think that.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Your greatest strength?
Then I'm honest. I'm brutally honest, and I think that's a good superpower.
Your comfort food? So many. I can see your eyes twinkling.
Houseway.
Houseway. Last gift you gave someone?
Lots of love.
Oh, that's sweet. What would your friends say about you?
That I'm completely insane.
Okay. Style is, complete the sentence.
Style is who you are, your personality. I mean, it's what you bring. What the different things that you bring with yourself.
Okay. Favorite song?
Favorite song? There's so many of them. But I'll tell you a Bollywood one. This is from Nautanki Sala.
Okay, sing it for us.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. मेरा मन कहने लगा पास आके न तू दूर जा छूने दे होठ तेरे जरा सांसों में अपने बसा.
Woohoo! Oh my God, you're so
I
good.
really like this song.
But you're such a good singer.
I'm good because I like the song and I sing the song all the time. That's why.
But you're fabulous. I don't even know if people know that you're a good singer. You should sing in your next movie.
I just try.
You're fab. I'm so glad
But
I
I'm
asked
going
you
to
this
start
question.
my Indian classical training.
You
soon, so,
must.
yeah.
You're really good. Okay. So lastly, what makes you smile?
Good food, good company, and coming home to my parents.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so sweet. Well, thank you so much for talking to us,
Thank you
Ashim.
so
It was really a pleasure.
Pleasure's all
No,
mine.
really, we're all smiling here and hope you get more and more success, and we look forward to seeing it.
Thank you very much for having me. It was great.
Thank you so much tuning in for our episode. You can stay in touch with us on Facebook at Stylogram Official and on Instagram at Stylogram_official. In the meanwhile, don't forget to download our episodes from iTunes or SoundCloud. See you soon.
Our podcasts bring all the boys to the yard, and damn right, they're better than yours. But you don't need to stand outside in the yard. Just follow IVM Podcasts on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We might be on Tinder too. Just go ahead and swipe right.